Hi. Good. How are you?
Living the dream.
Good. Thanks for being on with us today.
No worries.
Cutting it super close. We'll just give it a few minutes just to allow the other participants to hop on.
Okay.
You see we have Dalton on. Are you going to be sharing your screen for a presentation? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to make you the host of the meeting so that you'll be able to do that.
I got just like a quick slideshow there, probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Perfect. Okay, and then I'll monitor the chat during your presentation.
Is it just going right into the screen share, or?
You'll just have to enable the screen sharing on your screen.
No, but I'm saying when we start here, are we going to go right?
Totally up to you. If you want to give a little introduction, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then, yeah, totally up to you, however you would like to do it.
All right.
I know we just had a session end, so
you guys getting a good turnout?
Yeah, really good. I believe we had about 115 youth registered in total.
Nice.
There's about 7 sessions happening like all at the same time. So we're averaging, anywhere between like 5 participants to 15 participants on each session. So it's been really good.
So I'll finish or do my little presentation thing, and then we just take questions after and whatnot.
Yeah, that's typically how it's been going. If that format works for you.
Okay. I'm good. I'm easy.
All right. Well, I'll leave it to you then. All yours.
Hey guys, my name is Noel Katruzis. I'm the training coordinator, trustee, and the apprenticeship committee chair for Millwright Local 1916 in Hamilton. Someone reached out to me regarding this opportunity to speak at Opportunity Knox. We jumped on it because I think it's a great program that they're running there. My job really today is to promote the millwrights and really the skilled trades in general. So I put together a little presentation that I'm going to share right now with you guys. There we go. So what we do, or Millwright Local 1916 in Hamilton, we're located literally right at Nebo and Stone Church there. That's our local office, but our jurisdiction runs from all the way from Grimsby all the way to Owen Sound North. West would be up to about Woodstock area, and then east would be right about through Milton. But we do have 8 locals within our regional council, which I will refer to, the Millwright Regional Council of Ontario here. Marcel, everyone can see my slideshow right now? Okay, awesome. Okay, so the Millwrights Union, we are under the umbrella of the United Brotherhoods of Carpenters and Joiners of America. So it is an international union. So technically we are part of the Carpenters union as a joiner. It is a very large union, and I will go or show you guys some of the benefits of being a part of our what we call the UBC. So what's a millwright? Okay, so millwrights, we install, maintain, diagnose, and repair industrial machinery and also mechanical equipment by reading the blueprints and then performing the layouts or assembling parts until they're in perfect working condition. And then us, we are under the 426A trade code, which is a construction millwright. So our job does involve the installing and repairing and maintaining of the machinery during the preventative maintenance or construction phase of new plants and other facilities. So some millwright jobs are quite complex, and they involve the installation of a variety of equipment related to multiple industries. So I have some pictures that I will explain to you guys going. So this bottom left picture and the bottom right one there, those are turbines. Those are what power Canada, okay, whether it's a hydro dam or the nuclears or the natural gas. This is really where the energy starts from, okay? This was a job that I was fortunate enough to be on, and you can see some of the larger scale lifts that we do because we are, again, we are construction millwrights, and we do do a lot of the installations for manufacturing all throughout this country, well, really North America, as part of the UBC. So this welder right here. This is actually the welder that joins strips of steel, okay, like large coils of steel. So this right here lift was 62 ton. Okay, so that's about 130,000 pounds that this lift was. Okay, right here, this was at one of our local steel mills here in Hamilton, and this the guy that's actually doing the work here. He was one of my apprentices. And if you notice in the top right over here, we have one of our journeymen. So this is very important to us that we actually have our journeymen training our apprentices doing through hands-on, because that's a big part of what we do and what skilled trades in general do is the hands-on learning. So really right before this, this individual here, he explained how to do this gouging, because right now he's actually gouging, he's not welding. So he's actually doing pretty much reverse welding. So he's getting rid of welds right now using a carbon rod and high air pressure. So we're teaching this apprentice, and he was a second year apprentice at this stage. This job, I was actually a part of this job as well. We built this back in 2013, and just last year they wanted to expand this job. So I was part of this lift plan because it did involve heavy rigging, and this is what we call a tandem lift. So see how we have two cranes here that are joined onto one piece of equipment. So we do this a lot for a lot of our larger rigging jobs, and this was just really an expansion of this plant here in Hamilton. And again, this is another one in the steel plants. I'm just trying to show you guys some of the variety of stuff that we do, because it's really neat. Like when we bring people in, one of the first things, especially the apprentices or even new journey person, they're astounded and like mesmerized by the type of stuff that we do. And again, it's not just the millers, but the construction trades in general. So, there's the iron workers, the pipe fitters, the electricians, the carpenters. Like there's a large list of boilermakers, a large list that consists of what we call the construction building trades in the provincial building trades organization. So this is actually a cooling system that we actually put in to cool the strip before it goes and gets coiled and then transported. This is building a press. Yeah, this was in Fergus. Another typical thing, heavy rigging. Okay, it's just neat. Like if I can explain this trade at all, it's neat the variety of jobs that we actually do, from the installation to the maintaining and diagnosing, and then even when we get into the automation and AI sector of things with the skilled trades. Okay, just some of the industries that we do work in. Hamilton in general, we are obviously Hamilton's steel town, so steel production's a massive thing for us. Then all throughout Ontario and Canada and really North America, these are some of the industries that we actually service to. Okay, it's like locally, there's a lot of food and beverage around here, power generation, the steel manufacturing. There is pharmaceutical around here, locks and dams every winter right now. If you go down to the Welland Thorold area in St. Catharines area where the canals are, that's all our members that are rebuilding those canals right now and all the locks. Okay, so when you see that, that's another thing that we do, right? And then nuclear, big push right now, especially from the OPG and the Ontario government to refurb our nuclear infrastructure, and because nuclear time and time again proves the efficiency and safety. As much bad press that nuclear gets, Canada by far is the safest nuclear energy production country in the world, because our standards are by far the highest in the world. And there's a geological thing involved with when people talk about Fukushima and stuff like that. There are things that people, or especially the media, that doesn't really explain of what happened and what caused that, and that would not happen in Canada or any of our nuclear plants, especially in Ontario, because our safety standards and where we lie heavily affects that. And again, some of the other things that we do. So like I said, AI automation, the fourth industrial revolution is something that it's here. Okay, they say the third and fourth industrial revolution was really automation, the start of it. Right now, we are in the midst of the fourth, and that is automation. Okay, when you look at the commercials where they show the warehouses and Amazons and just production in general, that is all considered AI automation, from the conveyor systems to the robots to everything. Again, I mentioned the conveyor systems. Blueprint reading is a big part of our training and understanding, not just seeing a picture, or as we call them cartoons, but they hold all the information that we need to, and we need to know how to properly interpret those drawings in order to successfully build what we're building. Okay, the hoisting and rigging part, that's we through the UBC do have a national certification with hoisting and rigging, and it's something that we do a lot of. So we want to make sure our members are trained, because as you saw with some of those pictures that I was showing, there is some heavy tonnage that we are lifting. We need to know how to properly do it, so that safety is always upheld, because that is number one for us. It is safety. And we want our members to be trained to properly do things like that. Another thing, big part of the Millwrights, okay, is laser and optical alignment, because we're dealing with tolerances up to like 1,000th of an inch, which is 0.001 inches. Okay, so it's extremely tight tolerances that we do deal with, and we have to set machines and all that, so they run at optimal performance by aligning them to those set specifications and set tolerances. Okay, and then we get into the machining part. That speaks for itself with the tolerances on there. Your mechatronics, that's like robot PLCs and whatnot. That's an industry that we are looking to expand on right now, just because of automation and whatnot. Your pneumatics, so anytime you see pneumatic, it means air. Okay? That's just a fancy word for air, is pneumatic. So that's your pneumatic pressure lines and pneumatic operated cylinders and machinery. Okay, so it's using air to actually lift or power these machines. Pumps. Okay, we do all the pump alignments and the rebuilding of the actual pump. So if you're someone that likes to take stuff apart, put it back together, that's a big part of what we do too. And it's not just pumps; it's gearboxes, it's everything. So, and that's really when I was a kid, I did a lot of that. So when I found out about the Millwrights when I got out of university, I jumped on that because of the diverse range of things that we do. Again, robotics, your fabrication, okay, our turbines, that's a huge bread and butter for us, okay, because it involves a lot. It involves almost every aspect of our trade, from the alignment to rigging, installation, welding, everything is involved with the turbine and the actual functionality of it. And then welding, okay, a big part of what we do, and we require our apprentices to actually go and get their welding tickets. That we pay for it. We just ask for your time and to go to our night classes that we run, and to get your welding tickets, because our goal is to make you as employable as possible, and that's really our goal. And that it's a very small ask on our part for you to just take part in it, or our apprentices to take part in it. So some of our trainings, again, safety is a huge thing for us because of the what we do. There's a lot of things that can critically injure you and kill you. So safety is very, very it is at the top of our agenda. Okay, is always training and safety. The unionized construction trades are, and this was just a report that was released a couple months ago from what we call the Occupational Health and Safety Center. And this was using WSIB stats, but we were actually recognized that we are 31% safer, our jobs, and efficient than the non-union sector. And it goes to show just our members really sticking together and actually training our apprentices and our apprenticeship programs at the top. Like that's what we put at the top of our agenda. So this is just an example of some of the courses that the basic courses that you will be having before you even turn your first wrench. We will make sure that you have you're working at heights and 4-step programs, your power elevator work platforms, and just to make sure that you know what are aware of some of the safety hazards. And this is just some of the welding we do, from the flux cores to the TIG welding, so MIG welding, and then shielded metal arc. That's your stick weld. That's a standard for us and actually many of the trades. But we make it mandatory that our apprentices at least go to our night school for stick welding, which is shielded metal arc welding. And some of the things our unions actually offer when it comes to the leadership programs that we have. So our international training center, I know everyone sees Las Vegas, Nevada right here, and they think that it's, oh yeah, we go there a party and all that. Okay, the reason why we actually have our international training center in Las Vegas was because of the weather. The Las Vegas airport actually had the least amount of delays in our geographic area out of any airport. So there was a lot of thought behind it, because we do have offices and our actual in Washington throughout the states and Canada, but we do have a massive 1.5 million square foot training facility in Las Vegas, and this place it's actually jaw dropping what it is, and I'll show you some pictures of it. Some of the leadership programs that we offer to not only our apprentices but our journey people, that we want them to develop too, not only as just tradespeople, but as good human beings as well. So we offer them certain tools to and programs to better themselves, and again make them more employable as well. Some of those are like the stewards program, so knowing what's our work and what's not. There's a jurisdiction thing involved with trades and who does what. We send our 30-year apprentices down there just to get the vibe of what we're trying to do, and the type of programs that are available to our membership. And again, this is, we say UBC, that's open to our entire union under the Carpenters umbrella. Our 212 Journeyman, that's a program that's actually the second tier of this UBC Journeyman. And again, it's just other tools of how to talk to people, how to properly speak, do presentations, talk to other people on the jobs, and properly talk to them, not just start cussing them out and stuff like that, which some people are known to do. Okay, there's foreman training, so supervisor training, and then your collaborative leaderships with companies to show, bring contractors and companies there to show them what we're doing to make them feel better when they hire us. They know what they're getting. So this is one of the front office buildings of it. This is a small building. This is actually the front. So right here is what is the circle or the turnaround. So this is actually our museum. We have a museum there of history and just different carpenter tools and millwright tools and everything that's involved with the union. And we also have our training centers. A lot of our training rooms are in this building as well. And this is the mechatronics lab. So we actually have a built, fully operational basically replicates an automotive line and what you would see in an automotive plant. Okay, that's a turbine. It's our turbine shell. It's actually the bottom off the shell. Where not the bottom, where the blast chambers go and meets over the actually compressor stage of the turbine. So we have 3 completely full built turbines there, two gas turbines and 1 steam turbine that we every week we have members from all over North America go and we take them apart and we build them. We do theory. A lot of our training involves theory, then building and or taking apart and putting back together, because that's how we learn. That's it's the type of learners that a lot of tradespeople are, is hands-on learning. Okay. So underwater welders, they're part of the Carpenters Union too. So it's one of our aspects of our union. It's not part of the millwrights trade, but I just thought it was pretty neat when I first went there and saw that. So with all this, we ask certain things of our members. Okay, so we have this thing called the members' commitment to excellence, and it is protecting our jobs requires a competitive edge for our contractors so they can send a clear message to companies, and the job is going to be done on time, on budget, and with high quality. So safe work and no disruptions. So our union can only deliver if each and every member is committed to excellence every day on the job. So we put this in place because if you see, there is a lot of negative attention to unions sometimes, where people paint every union with the same brush, and that's just it's not right. We do have standards that we hold our members to. It's not just apprentices but members to, that they have to uphold, because we need also our contractors that we are signed with, that we supply the manpower to, we need them to make money, because if they don't make money, we don't work. And it's simple as that. So it has to be, a partnership with our contractors and the companies that we deal with. So what is it? What is our commitment to excellence? Okay, that's no absenteeism. Okay, you show up to work. Okay, punctuality, you arrive on time, you're fit for duty with the proper tools and clothing, working a full day and keeping breaks to the prescribed limits. Okay, so your productivity, safety and cooperation, strict adherence to a zero tolerance to substance abuse, and no personal business conducted on company time. Cell phones aren't on the job sites. Okay, there's way too much involved with the skilled trades to be on your cell phone. That's something that that people really need to get used to and break a habit, because that's what it is, a habit to constantly be on your phone, and there's no place for it on our job sites. And that's any job site. That's just not the trades, that's everywhere. So respecting company property, our employers' tools, and the tools of our co-workers. Okay, it's respect. That's I don't think I need to explain respect too much. And then following employer site rules. Okay, so work procedures, policies, and directives, and then also agreeing or adhering to our collective bargaining agreement. Okay, so we fill our commitment to excellence by teamwork. So every member working together with foremen and job stewards on every task to deliver a superior product in every respect. And then our compliance, so our job stewards and union reps working with the entire management team will monitor and enforce that standard of excellence. So what happens? Okay, again, we hold our membership to the highest regards, and we have a very high retention rate for the trade. We're actually the highest out of all the skilled trades for retention of our members and our apprentices. So when you start your apprenticeship, we expect you to finish, and we're making it possible for you to finish that so you get your certificate of qualification. So if someone doesn't honor that commitment to excellence, we do have a procedure where we can get rid of you. We can terminate your membership if you aren't compliant with how we should be doing our work in our business. Okay, so the disciplinary committee will take appropriate corrective action, which may include imposition of internal disciplinary procedures up to and including charges under our Carpenter's Constitution. So we have adapted this. These are our Constitution books under the MRC or the Millwright Regional Council, and our locals, which we have 8 locals throughout Ontario. Okay, an apprentice. So an apprentice is someone who's taken a trade and working under the guidance of skilled workers called journey persons. Millwright apprenticeship consists of 8,000 hours of on-the-job, hands-on work, okay, and training. So our apprentices are required to attend 3 terms of school consisting of 8-week blocks over a 4-year period. And skills and safety training is covered. Okay, it's free. We provide, because we want you as employable as possible so that you continue. So all our training is free. We pay into it through our collective bargaining agreement. So our members don't have to worry about finding money to get proper skills training. So if you fail to attend any of the scheduled classes, they will terminate your apprenticeship contract. That's for schooling, okay? We have to go to our 3 terms of school. And our apprentices start at 60%. So that's when on the higher scale for most skilled trades is that we do start at 60% of journeyman's wage. Or rate and wages, and are increased at periodic levels until receiving his or her certificate of qualification. So your package, so you start right as soon as you get your first 360 hours, you're automatically enrolled into our benefits, our health benefit program, our pension and welfare. So that's something that especially as young people, or actually really anyone of any age should consider a pension when you're looking for a career or second career or changing careers. Okay, because retirement is something that is real and it will happen. Okay, so plan accordingly, and the pension plan helps you plan for that a lot easier. So again, 0 to 2,000 hours. Okay, that's your A1 status. From 2 to 4,000 is your A2 status, and then you go to your basic schooling. Okay, your basic program. Then 4 to 6,000 is your A3, and your intermediate program. Okay, you have to go to school, and then between your 6,000 and 8,000 hours, that you're considered an A4, which pays Each range is A1 60, 70, 80 for an A3, and then 90% of journey person's wage for the A4, and then you would go to your advanced schooling as well. So apply. Okay, there's simple standards. You can just go to our website, Millwright Local 1916, and all the information's there. We do usually do a spring intake. We're always looking for jury people right now. Like there's a very, very high demand for millwrights in Ontario and Canada and in our jurisdiction. So, you know, whether you're a journey person or an apprentice, you know, we're always looking for good people. So how are they selected? So everybody goes and writes an aptitude test. Okay, we have an aptitude test that consists of our of mechanical, math. Okay, so numerical, communication or verbal, and then your spatial, which is like blueprint reading type things. You don't have to know how to read blueprints, but it's basically just how you can comprehend seeing basically a box, and you have one tab of that box colored in, and then you have it flat. And then they show you an image of that box that's been put together and built, and where that, you know, colored in tab would be. So it's just, it gives us an idea of how you view images and how you can view certain things. Okay, and then any applicant that gets over 70% or greater, we bring you in for an interview, and then from there, if you're successful from there, we train you. You spend a week straight with me, at least a week straight, and I get you all your necessary skills training before you even go in and touch a tool on the job. So, you know, we start off with our working at heights, our you know, power elevated work platforms, forklift operators license, your industrial crane license for operating overhead cranes and basic rigging. Stuff like that, safety, your confined space, lockout, tagout. So there's fairly thorough training that we give our new intakes. All right. So that's my presentation.
Wonderful. Thanks, Noel. We will open it up to questions and comments. If anybody has a question or a comment, you're welcome to type it in the chat box, or you could raise your hand to let me know you have a question, and I can unmute your mic so that you can ask Noel your question directly. Also for this session, there is a keyword for you to put on your survey completing the session. The keyword for this session is change, and that will earn you points for your pop-up shop. How long have you been doing this type of work, Noel?
So I started in 2007 is when I started. So I right out of high school, I went to university, and right from there, I needed money to pay my student loans, and you know, I wasn't really interested in the desk job. So I got into the trades. It was what I was going to do before I you know, went to university. I had a good opportunity to play a sport in the States at school. So when I finished there, I joined the trades, and then that's what I wanted to do. And then it's you know, my business background from my education, I was able to, you know, relate it directly to the trades, because you're not just turning wrenches like people think when you're in the trades. You need there's a lot of aspects to the trade, like the project management side, or even just the supervision, or what I do now with being, you know, a trustee and a training coordinator for my youth. So there's a lot of avenues to go, not just turning wrenches.
And we do have a question in the chat. Kim asked, can you describe what a typical day looks like?
A typical day, you know, we have early starts. Our typical day starts around 6:37. You know, it could be anywhere from you know, regular days about 8 hours long. Shutdown days is a little bit different, because when a factory shuts down or a plant shuts down, we have to go in for maintenance work. You know, you're usually working 12 plus hours a day in that part, where you're compensated very well with our pay structures and overtime pays and all that. But you know, every day is different, and that's one of the good things about Millwrights, is that our diverse range and the diverse industry that we actually work in. So, you know, every day you're not doing the same thing every day for 30 years straight. You're doing something different. You know, you could be on one project for, you know, only a 2-day shutdown. Then, you know, next week you're on a 3-week construction job where you're building a factory or building, you know, certain machinery. So every day is different, and that's kind of the joy that I learned and that I like. And one of the biggest things, especially with our apprentices or guys that we get from the non-union side, journey people that sign over with us, and that's one of the greatest benefits that they say is just the range of stuff that they're doing, and it actually makes it enjoyable and it keeps it enjoyable.
Awesome. And Kim asked, is there travel globally besides Vegas? And is there a time for sightseeing?
So our international training centers in Vegas, when you're talking about travel, there's opportunities all over Canada, like international, because there's certain visa requirements and whatnot for working in other countries. We don't tend to go to the south too often, but all throughout Canada, we go everywhere. The Millwrights are everywhere. We really are. We're kind of like that, like a smaller trade, but we are a specialist trade though too. So it's definitely a good career to go to. But our Vegas is really just for training that's offered at those programs, like our turbines and leadership programs and whatnot there. But if you can, we do have work in the States, but for visa purposes, you have to be supervision. So there's certain stipulations if that's what you're looking to do. But we have guys up in the Nunavut area where they're working in mines, and northern Canada and in northern Ontario, the east on the Hibernias and whatnot that are on the oil rigs off the east coast and the west coast hydro dams. So there's lots of opportunity to travel if that's what you want to do. We do have members that do that, and they do it a lot, and they have a very good living, and it's what they want to do. And yes, there is time for sightseeing in Vegas. So usually we're done classes by like 3-4 o'clock, so you can go, but you have to be in class. They say 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. You show up 8 a.m. If you're a minute late, they will send you home, and you are paying for your entire accommodations there. That's the one thing that we ask is Vegas, obviously can be, engulf somebody sometimes. So we do have, we're adults. Okay, we have to take responsibility serious, and we're there for work and work first. But I've been through, all through the dams there, the Hoover Dam and all that, and I've went and seen certain things, museums, and went to shows, casinos, everything. So we just ask that you show up on time to class and be ready to learn.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Oh, and another question, how important is math and science to this trade?
Math is very important just because really with the tolerances that we deal with, there's a lot of math. And when you get into the alignment part, there's a lot of math involved. So because it's a lot of precision measuring and, knowing certain things. So there's basic math. And then when you get into the alignment side, that's like the advanced math where you're going to, get into the laser alignment because we use trigonometry and stuff like that. But does everyone need to be great at math? No, everyone has their niche. There's such a wide range of things that we do that, just for someone to say that, oh, you need to be really good at math, that's just, it's wrong, because you can pick, you can be a great welder and a great rigger, but not, be good at math. So, it depends what aspect of the trade you're dealing with, but math is a part of any trade essentially. And if you're on the alignment side and installation side, yes, math is important for us.
And just basic arithmetic.
Yeah.
Basic arithmetic.
Yeah, it's the hypotenuse, Pythagorean theorems, things, how to using sine, cosine, tangents, and stuff like that, basic trigonometry and stuff. When you get into alignment again, when you get into say where you have to compensate for thermal expansion, so that's when you start getting into the advanced math. So not everybody does that. Believe me, not everybody does that. They just don't know how to do it. And then, but that's where our training comes in, because if that's something that you're good at and we know you're good at the math, then we would try to steer you towards developing that skill as well. Because, if you have something that, we can't really, the trigonometry, we're not going back to high school math and showing you it all again. So it's, there's sectors or sections that we can show you and give you reminders on, but like a lot of the people that we're dealing with, when they get into the alignment side, they're usually very strong in math, and it just helps when because it's fairly fast paced. So it really
Perfect.
fun. So
I'm going to thank you for your time, Noel. It looks like there is a question that did come through. We have only a couple minutes left.
okay.
So if you just wanted to answer this one, and then I'm going to hop off right away because I have to be in another one, but I did want to thank you very much for your time and for sharing your knowledge with us today. So the question is, what is the best project you have ever worked on and why?
That it's hard to say. Honestly, that's a hard question because I've been on some really like cool jobs, like whether from the galv line upgrades at steel mills to hydro turbines to actual energy production to automotive plants building new line. Like it's one of the things. So like I'm not trying to cop out on the question of what's my the best job there or what's my favorite, because honestly it's neat. There you get some really bad jobs and you get some really good jobs that that you remember and you always remember and you take pictures of and stuff like that. So I can't pick a favorite job that I've been on. My current job, different role from construction, but I love my job right now too. I love educating and trying to prepare people to have good careers. That's really my goal as a training coordinator.
Great.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate the time.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, guys.
Thank you.